By those standards, the problem with Stanislav Jungwirth, Emil's teammate and a future 1,500 metres world record holder, is a trivial one. Stanislav himself is not in trouble. It is Emil's response to the problem that is potentially catastrophic. Stanislav's father is in prison for political offences, and that, the party has decided, makes it inappropriate for Jungwirth Jr. to travel abroad, except to other Eastern Bloc countries. It is a modest restriction, unless, like Jungwirth, you are an Olympic athlete who has spent the past 4 years dreaming of Helsinki. News of Jungwirth's exclusion emerged the evening before the athletes were due to fly, when they turned up at the Ministry of Sport to collect their travel documents. Jungwirth was devastated to find that there were none for him, but quickly accepted that making a scene would only make matters worse. But Emil was incandescent. "No way," he told the officials. "If Stander does not go, nor will I." Then he stormed out, leaving his paperwork behind him. The next day, on the morning of the flight, Jungwirth implores Zátopek to calm down. Emil insists on standing his ground. He gives Jungwirth his team outfit and tells him to return it to the ministry when he returns his own. Then he goes off to train alone at Prague's Strahov Stadium. The standoff continues for days, by which time the plane has long since left without Zátopek. Dana is inconsolable. The stress causes her to lose her voice. It is barely a decade since her own father was taken away by the Gestapo during the German occupation. He ended up in Dachau. Now her husband seems to have condemned himself to a comparable fate. In Helsinki, Western journalists are told that Zátopek has tonsillitis. More than 60 years later, on a wet Wednesday evening in January, I am sitting in an aeroplane on that same runway. It is a Wizz Air flight this time, delayed for well over an hour by one of those inscrutable problems to which budget flights are prey. Our destination is London Luton, and the passengers, far from being Olympic athletes, are mostly price-conscious tourists. But my head is full of thoughts of Olympic glory in Helsinki. I have spent the past few days visiting Zátopek's old haunts and talking to people who knew him. The highlight was a long morning of memories, laughter and slivovitzer, plum brandy, with Dana herself. Now, on the homeward journey, I have just reached the end of my second Zátopek biography of the week, and am wondering which one to begin afresh. They are all the reading matter I have, and today there have been many hours to kill. The engine starts to hum with pre-takeoff half-life. The air crew perform their safety drill, and I note with pleasure that I recognise several words. Maybe that teach-yourself-check audio program is starting to work. Then I find myself thinking about the Jungwirth incident. I wonder if the puddled runway I can see through the window bears any resemblance to the view that Dana saw as she scanned the asphalt fretfully through an airplane window in the summer of 1952, wondering if Emil would appear. Then a startling thought occurs to me. That incident with Jungwirth, where is it? I check and double-check, but it isn't there. Not in either of the biographies. As I write, they are the only lives of Zátopek available in the English language. Yet neither even mentions that standoff on the eve of the Helsinki Games. Nowhere, not a word. The incident's absence is not just curious, it is revealing. In both cases, there are good reasons for the omission. One of the books was written in English, the other is a translation from Czech. One can be assumed to have left out the episode because it was not widely known in the West. The other because, under communism, it was unmentionable. Yet it happened. Indeed, it is arguably one of the more significant episodes, not just in Zátopek's life, but in the history of sport. If that seems a bold claim, consider what it involved. First, the stature of the main protagonist, Emil Zátopek, a colossus of athletics, who from the late 1940s to the mid-1950s bestrode his discipline as no other runner has ever done. 3 of his Olympic golds were won at the same games in the space of 8 days.